Welcome to the semi-finals of the League Cup 2009 from Jalan Besar Stadium, the home of Singapore football. And a very warm welcome to Jalan Besar Stadium. It's a beautiful evening down here tonight for semi-final number 2 of the League Cup 2009. I'm PJ Roberts, and tonight we have two-time S.League champions Home United against 7-time S.League champions Singapore Armed Forces. Neither side have won the League Cup trophy before. We are in for an absolute cracker. Last night saw semi-final number 1. It was Brunei DPMM who are aiming to be the first foreign team to pick up domestic silverware here in Singapore against Woodlands Wellington, the 2007 League Cup champions. It really was a tight and fierce encounter. Let's have a look back at the very best of the action. Yes, it certainly was a very, very tight match. But focusing on the semi-final here, joining me now is Bernard Lan, the team manager of Home United. Bernard, Savaji's been able to rotate his squad, many of the fringe players making it through to the semi-finals. You must be very impressed by that.
Yeah, I think you're quite happy with the performance of these young players. They're given their best in all the 3 games that they play, and I think Savaji will like to stick with them for this coming game.
Well, tonight there's no Lionel Lewis, no Perez, no Cheryl Ishak, no Subramani. He has an awful lot of faith. He's been very loyal to these fringe players as well.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to change the winning team, because these boys have been playing pretty well the last 3 games, so no point of changing it, and more or less they give their best. So I think tonight they want to show again how good they are.
Brilliant. Bernie, you've got a lot of strength and depth in the squad. Best of luck tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, Home United against the Singapore Armed Forces. It is a hotly contested rivalry between these 2 uniform sides. You can only almost throw the form book out the window. This is what we've got to look forward to. Yes, it certainly is going to be a cracker of a match. Joining me now is Colonel Kok Wai Leong, the General Manager of the Singapore Armed Forces. Now, Colonel, you've had 2 days less rest than Home United. This is your 4th game in 12 days. You've got many players over the wrong side of 30, I guess you could say. How's the feeling amongst the boys at the moment?
Feeling is good. I mean, obviously they will be very tired, but tonight is mind over matter. I think they understand the importance of the match. We are just 1 game away from a final, and we want to go all the way. I mean, cup competitions are such, you know, sometimes you don't do well, you don't play well, you still win. Luck comes into play. I think there's no need to remind everybody we were lucky in the last game against Tampines Rovers. But you got to ride our luck. Hopefully we are lucky again tonight, you know, and then we go all the way to the final.
Now, Ahmad Latif, he had to come off injured in the last game with his hamstring. He's on the bench tonight. We assume that he's okay to come on in the second half at some stage?
He's there to frighten the opponent, you know. But no, he has a hamstring problem. You don't want to risk it. But putting him on a bench is, I think, reflects a lot of our squad. We have a lot of injury problems. We can't be possibly having 13, 14 players there. He can still play, but I don't think he can go 100%. That being the case, I don't expect Richard Bock to bring him in. Hopefully not necessary, and with a bit of luck we're in the final on Friday, and I'll see you again.
We will have had a few interviews. Kendall, thank you very much and best of luck tonight. Well, Home United against SAF, it is just around the corner. If you want to check out the odds of this match and of the final on Friday, you can check it out on StarHub's Channel 800. That's Channel 800. Well, kickoff is about 5 minutes away. When we come back after the break, we'll have a look at the team lineups and the team formations. We'll see you very, very soon.
Speculation also with talk on Home United's selection for tonight's match. Different story for them. They have one of the smallest squads around, not to mention the average age of 28.
to Jalan Besar Stadium for semi-final number 2 of the League Cup 2009. The game is currently scoreless between Home United and the Singapore Armed Forces. It's been a tight and cagey affair, to say the least. Both teams adopting a fairly cautious approach going forward. Both teams very tight and compact at the back and through the middle of the cup. Nurapol had a good chance for Home United. Aleksandar Duric a good chance for SAF, but there really have been very few chances. Let's have a look back at the first half highlights.
Well, I think PJ summed it up very well indeed. That was the first chance of the game, and well, you have to say Duric needed to put that on target, didn't he? He really had to test the keeper, and we've talked at length about what he's going through at the moment. Nori Kazu then created a half chance here, and that was as good as it was going to get for Home United for a while, because after that was a procession of long-range efforts which barely troubled Shahril Jantan. Really lacked some creativity. This was one of the few good runs that could have been rewarded with a goal, and perhaps should have been. Kenny Ludovic with the flick here between two players. Nurapol, well, at least he got a shot on target, because as you'll see in a short while, it was a shocking miss from him. There were a couple of efforts from Azhar Sairuddin. This was the better of the two, but again, no problems for goalkeeper Shahril. Got the right amount of power on it, but not good enough. And here is that wonderful ball from Itami Dixon. Nurapol doing the hard work. The angle was not great, but a simple roll of the ball into the net would have given his side the lead, and he knows it. And I just wonder if that will count in the final reckoning. Here he was, got past Shahril Jantan, still had time to steady himself, but slicing that ball. This is the other good chance for Aleksandar Duric. The ball finally falling kindly to him, didn't take it cleanly, decent save from Rizwan. But that's two good chances now for Duric. As he said, he is rather tired after playing so many games in a short period of time, and he's aching all over. Well, Dixon again providing the impetus, and you feel much will rely on him in that second half. Another half chance from Firdaus Idros, but it's goalless at Jalan Besar. Unless something can happen, we may be heading into extra time.
Yes, it certainly has been a relatively conservative and cumbersome performance in many ways. Possession reasonably even. Home United with a few more offsides. They are getting a little bit more penetration through the middle. Fouls relatively even. Shots, Home United with more shots, but you would have to say, as you saw at those highlights, many of them were off target. Well, there is certainly plenty of talent on show tonight, but very shortly we're going to catch up with a true legend of Singapore football. This gentleman represented the Lions in 1994 when they picked up the Premier League and Malaysia Cup double. He actually scored a hat-trick in the Malaysia Cup final against Pahang at the Shah Alam Stadium. He's a gentleman both on and off the football pitch. It's the one and only Abbassad. Thank you, Abbas. I'm sure we will. That's Abbassad, a very charming character. Well, there is a StarHub SMS contest going on. All you got to do, predict the League Cup 2009 winner. There's only 3 teams remaining, so you've got a fairly good chance, so make sure you get your entries in there. Well, it is now time for a break, but when we come back, join me pitchside. We're going to catch up with the General Manager of SAF, Colonel Kok Wai Leong, and have his thoughts on the first half and look ahead to the second half. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back to Jalan Besar Stadium. It is semi-final number 2 of the League Cup 2009. It is current scoreless between Home United and Singapore Armed Forces. Joining me now is Colonel Kok Wai Leong, the General Manager of SAF. Colonel, did you expect it to be so cautious and conservative the first half from both sides?
I think you can see a contrasting style of play in both teams. I think if you look at the Home United side, they play good possession football and good passing and good movement. We are a bit lethargic, I must say. Movement a bit sluggish and all that. But we will come back. I think it is nice to get into the break without conceding a goal. I think second half, you will see something.
Well, it is your 4th game in 12 days. We've just dragged you out of the change rooms. Richard Bock was having a good chat with the guys. What was he saying in there?
just do it. We are one game away, only 45 minutes.